Ladies, unpopular opinion, but anytime a man ghosts you, especially if things were going well or you guys have been intimate, it is almost always to go from you to another woman. Almost always, okay? Because men like to monkey bar. They don't really like to go from things that are going great to nothing. So if he ghosted you out of the blue and you're so confused about it, it's probably because he went back to a woman he was seeing before you, or someone he met while he was with you messed up, or after you.
There is only one reason why a man will ghost a woman. It doesn't matter how old he is. It doesn't matter how many dates you've been on. It doesn't even matter the stage of the relationship. There's always one reason why he's ghosting, and it's deep. It's not on the surface level, but deep down inside it's there. And the reason is always that he doesn't actually know how to communicate his thoughts and feelings, and it's easier for him to just drop out and ghost than it is for him to confront what's actually going on and communicate it to the other person. So he likely has an avoidant attachment style combined with low emotional maturity, a selfish view of life, and especially an avoidance of conflict. And in order for him to communicate properly, he would actually have to connect with his own thoughts or feelings, process them, be able to communicate them in a healthy way, and understand how to do all of that. And because he doesn't know how to do it, it's just easier to drop out.
Okay, listen to me very closely. If a man goes from love bombing you to suddenly, I need to focus on myself, or I need to focus on my career, it's bullshit, okay? I'm telling you now that it means that you didn't pass the vibe check. It means that they got to know you and they realized that they don't actually like you, or they no longer see themselves spending the rest of their life with you. Because men, they don't think critically in the beginning. They're not thinking like you. They're not thinking about the qualities of a wife. They're looking at you and they think you're bad and they think you're sexy and they want you to breed you. But then they get to know you and they realize, oh shit, like, we're not compatible. But they lie and they're pussy and they're never gonna tell you straight up, hey, I don't think this is going anywhere. Or like, we tried, but we're not compatible. Instead, they're gonna lie and pretend they care about self-improvement. And then you're gonna be sitting there being like, what the fuck did I do? Why did he do this? Babes, he doesn't like you, okay? And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If anything, good riddance. Go find you a man that does.
This is why men ghost you. And no, it wasn't because he got busy. 3 reasons men ghost. He's not interested in you, he's talking to someone else, or maybe he's just unsure. Which is absolutely fine. The problem is he didn't have the, cojones to tell you. So how do you deal with someone who ghosts you? Well, you send them a very long message explaining exactly... Kidding, don't do that. No, if he ghosted you, you quietly move on, because when he comes back, and he will come back, you take away his access to you, and that hurts more than any text you could send him. Oh, how do you know this? Because I've been the guy who didn't have the cojones to let someone know I'm not interested, and when I did ghost them, and they just didn't do anything about it, it almost like held a mirror, and that indifference made me learn my lesson. So make him learn his lesson.
A man will ghost you for 2 reasons. 1, you were just a replacement for the main chick, and now the main chick is back in the picture. Yeah. 2, he just doesn't like you.
3 of the most embarrassing reasons why girls get ghosted. Now, this is going to hurt a lot of y'all's feelings, so just be ready. But don't try to skip this video because I'm actually going to help y'all out. This is why I ghosted a lot of girls. This is why I don't really ghost girls like that because I don't talk to too many. You know what I'm saying? But this is why, you know what I'm saying, a lot of guys ghost girls. I'm not going to lie. The first one, it easily has to do with you trying to play the hard to get within the talking stage. Ladies, a lot of y'all, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm trying to help y'all out. Don't hurt the messenger. Your pride is too high. Your pride is way too high. And it's not even good to have pride in the first place. But you really need to think, okay, Now, if you're chasing low-value men, that's one of those things where you can't think about it. You know what I'm saying? Your pride, I don't say pride, but your standards can be high when you're chasing low-value men, or when you're getting low-value men, or where you're getting with low-value men. If bro's picking you up in his car all the time, and he's just trying to, or you're picking him up, or you're just hanging out at the mall, and he's just trying to lust, yeah, that's a low-value man. You get what I'm saying? It's okay to have standards in. But when this dude has his life together, he has his mental straight mentality, as in, why are you trying to play hard to get? You're acting like this isn't the man of your dreams. The second one is easily just because you're stalking our account too much. And ladies, you may be like, well, how does he know if I'm stalking him or not? Bro, when you're in his IG direct, it's so obvious. If a guy is in your IG direct, you're gonna know he's stalking you. And I told you how to get there. Press the share, then go to Instagram direct. It's so simple. Or you can go to it on the app, but it takes like 1 hour and 30 minutes. If you think I'm just trying to get shares, go to it on the app. But that's just the fastest way to get to it. The third thing is because you have no bag.
In dating, there's only 3 exact reasons why he would ghost you. Number 1, he found someone else. He found another woman, he had other options, and he's letting you know by not getting back to you, period. You've been seeing each other, you've been sleeping with each other, you've been dating for a while, and all of a sudden the conversation completely drops off and you never hear from him again. He found someone else. That's why I always say, don't put your eggs all into one basket when dating, and also have a little roster. Because that's what men do. They are literally seeing multiple women at a time, dating multiple women at a time. So if you're standing on the sideline, all eyes on him, always messaging, always calling, always dating him, and not having other options, while he has, don't be surprised when he ghosts you, because he ran away with someone else, period. Second reason why he all of a sudden ghosts you, and this is a bit more rare, but in some occasions this actually happens, it is a test. Some men want to give you the chase. Some men are testing you and purposely not messaging back to see how emotionally attached you already are to them. By ghosting you, they're throwing the bait and they're seeing how quickly you come their way. But usually these type of men are very feminine and insecure, and they're doing it to stroke their own ego. That's exactly what you're not going to do. You're not going to then give them the chase, right? As a woman who loves herself, you move on. And last but not least, reason number 3 why he's ghosting you, he deeply, truly knows you are better than him. You are out of his league. You're prettier, you have more money, he cannot afford you, you have too high of standards, you have too many expectations. This man's ego is hurting purely by reaching out to you because he deeply knows he doesn't want to establish a healthy relationship with you because it's not sustainable. He is not the man that he pictures on your side. In other words, he knows he is not good enough for you. Remember, ladies, in all 3 cases of ghosting, how you win is by acting unbothered. Do not reach out first when he ghosts you. Walk away, keep it moving, you're busy.
Understanding Men Part 2, Why Do Men Ghost Good Women? Welcome to the Daddy Academy. So, there's a few things you gotta understand about ghosting, okay? 1, a man who is truly about you, wants to date you, takes you seriously, sees a future with you, will not ghost you under any circumstances, okay? So let's get that clear. If somebody's ghosting you, you're feeling a ghosty vibe, a little spooky, he's not for you. Plain and simple. One misconception I hear all the time is, oh, he pulled back, he ghosted because he was catching feelings and he didn't know what to do, so he disappeared for a little bit. Is that true? Does that happen? No, that doesn't fucking happen. And if this guy, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's say that actually happened. He caught so much feelings for you that he pulled away and he ghosted you. He didn't talk to you for a week. Is that normal to you? Is that normal behavior? Is that how you want your partner to handle having feelings of love? It's fucking weird. So even if that was the case, that's not an excuse. It's not something you should put up with. So why do men ghost? Why do they do it? The reason why men ghost, though, or why this might have happened to you, is because men typically do not have as many options as women. I know that might be hard to believe. A lot of you might not think that, but it's true, okay? So a man is really never going to completely close the door on a situation, okay? Very rarely, I'm sure most of you out there, how many times have you gotten a message from a man saying, hey, I know we've been seeing each other, but I'm not feeling it. Best of luck to you. Like, it doesn't really happen that often. Because if he's been going out with you, there's an attraction there. Maybe you hooked up, maybe you didn't. But he wants to keep the door open just so he has the abundance of the options. So it's a safer option to just ghost, separate, pull back, and ghost rather than close the door in case he wants to come back. I'm not saying it's right, but that's kind of where the mindset is. It's not always malicious like that. So sometimes they just feel like, instead of letting her down and saying something, maybe just pulling back and ghosting is a safer option depending on where you are in a relationship. If this is like 2-3 months in, yeah, it's kind of fucked up. But if we're talking 3 dates or so here, that's it's personal opinion. But really the main reason why you're going to get ghosting from men is to just keep the door open. If he slams it shut, says I'm not feeling anything, slams it shut, he can't really come back to you. But by leaving it a little ambiguous, he can always try to sneak back in there if he goes out to venture and the well is dry. Good luck out there, ladies. I know it's a shit show.
Men who ghost you love you deep down. Because you see, with a lot of men, their number one priority in life is their mission in life, their place in the world. Their preoccupation every day is not, oh, who am I gonna marry? Who am I gonna marry? Relationship, wife, girlfriend. That's not their, at least you know the emotionally healthy masculine man. That's not their number one preoccupation. But they are men, you know, they have this animal side to them. So when they meet someone whom that animal side of themselves finds attractive, of course, it's going to activate their chase instinct. So in the beginning, they're going to happily and excitedly chase you. But after some time, if they're in a position in their lives where they perceive themselves as still incapable of being able to provide for and protect a woman, a wife, after a while of chasing you, when all those testosterone goes down and now their wiser part of themselves arise in their consciousness, they're gonna start asking themselves, oh, she's a great woman, she's fun to be with, I have a lot of fun times hanging out with her, connecting with her, relating to her. But am I in a position in my life right now where I'm able to provide for her and to protect her? Can I go deeper? And if the answer is no, if they feel in their hearts, I'm not yet in the position to take care of her right now, to provide for her, to protect her for whatever reason. Maybe they're not yet in a stable career. Maybe they're still figuring out what their life mission is, what their place in the world is. It can be a lot of things. So when they go through that phase, they're gonna start to pull away. They're pulling away, one, because they're processing their emotions. They wanna be sure how they truly feel about you. And two, if he pulls away for good for whatever reason, could be that he's feeling like he's not the right one for you. Men who ghost you love you deep down. Because you see, with a lot of men, their number one priority in life is their mission in life, their place in the world. Their preoccupation every day is not, oh, who am I gonna marry? Who am I gonna marry? Relationship, wife, girlfriend. That's not their, at least you know the emotionally healthy masculine man. That's not their number one preoccupation. But they are men, you know, they have this animal side to them. So when they meet someone whom that animal side of themselves finds attractive, of course, it's going to activate their chase instinct. So in the beginning, they're going to happily and excitedly chase you. But after some time, if they're in a position in their lives where they perceive themselves as still incapable of being able to provide for and protect a woman, a wife, after a while of chasing you, when all those testosterone goes down and now their wiser part of themselves arise in their consciousness, they're gonna start asking themselves, oh, she's a great woman, she's fun to be with, I have a lot of fun times hanging out with her, connecting with her, relating to her. But am I in a position in my life right now where I'm able to provide?
A man will ghost you when you are really good looking and when you are everything that he wants in a person, in a partner. Sometimes when you're dating a guy, things can get really confusing because everything is going absolutely perfect. You're really attracted to him, he's your type, and he's even more attracted to you, and you're definitely his type. You're the best person he's ever gotten with and will ever get with. But sometimes when you are too good looking, a man will end up ghosting you because you have the full personality, the full package that he wants, as well as being absolutely stunning. And this literally just makes a man realize that you're everything he wants, but he has a wake-up call and he thinks, well, damn, she or he is literally the full package, but I'm not ready to settle down. And they literally don't know how to handle the situation. So a lot of the time, they just take a step back. They either go really cold or silent or disappear and ghost you. It's so bad because this guy usually starts off the relationship pursuing you, but where he goes cold, you get obsessed with him, and then you end up pursuing him, and then he just keeps going further and further away from you. When he ghosts you, it's your opportunity to respect the dead and move on. Don't ever wait for a guy who ghosts you. Even though it absolutely sucks to be ghosted by a guy, especially when he's only ghosted you because you're super good looking, it is actually kind of useful for you because it lets you know that he was never going to be the right person for you. He is not ready to give you the commitment that you're looking for. And even if you tell the guy that you're not looking for anything serious, he still will probably end up ghosting you when you're too good looking because he's also scared of falling for you even deeper. So it's best that he just stays as far away from you as possible. I know it sucks, but it's the truth.
Have you ever been ghosted and wondered what the fuck happened? As a relationship therapist, I have worked with so many people who have been ghosted, but I've also had like the weird freaky experience of working with people who regularly ghost. So I know what goes through the mind of a ghoster when they ghost, and here are the top 3 things that could have happened. Possibility number 1 is that he's avoidant. This means that he actually probably did want an emotional connection with you, but had a core wound around affection and intimacy. So he literally feels like he's defective and not worthy of love. So you'll notice with an avoidant person, like the more you get emotionally close and things are going well, the more likely they are to actually just pull away. Second possibility is that he didn't have an emotional wound at all. He just didn't like you, but didn't have the courage to actually step up and tell you the truth. Third possibility is that he's actually a narcissist, which is way more common than you'd probably expect. Narcissists actually get off on winning someone over. So they will love bomb you till the cows come home. But the minute you start surrendering and giving them affection back, they will be like, oh, I won, and move right on to the next victim.
Person who ghosts is somebody who emotionally is compromised. They're basically underdeveloped emotionally, and they're exercising a form of emotional abuse. And I know that sounds really harsh, but think of what a ghoster does. You're in communication, you're building relationship, and boom, they sever it. It's a massive, out of nowhere, no explanation abandonment. That's abusive.